She's on her way.
All right.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Commissioner Hughes. This is the 11 a.m. initial appearance calendar for Monday, June 30th. The court's orders for the taking of DNA samples and fingerprints issued on the first calendar of June will apply to all of the hearings on this calendar. As we get started in here this morning, I will call each of you into the courtroom one at a time. I'll ask one of you to stand behind this gray podium here in front of me in the courtroom. I'll ask the next two people that I intend to call into the courtroom to line up in the two chairs right inside this door. So if you would please listen carefully for your name and go from where you are now to the second chair, and then I'll ask you to move to the first chair from there into the courtroom. I know that might seem a little bit silly, but I promise you all, if you do that for me, it will make this calendar move much faster than if you were all to go from where you are now into the courtroom. Once you're in the courtroom and you're behind the gray podium, I will start by asking you to state your full name and date of birth. Then I will explain to you why you're here this morning. After that, I'll tell you whether you qualify for a court-appointed lawyer. Those lawyers are sometimes called public defenders. You all have the right to the assistance of counsel in a criminal case. Whether or not you qualify for a public defender, you have the right to hire a private lawyer to defend you at any time if you wish to. After we talk about lawyers, I'll give you all the next court hearing dates and times you'll be required to attend after this court hearing. And the last thing that we'll do while you're in the courtroom is talk about whether you are legally eligible for release from custody today. If you are, we will go over on what terms and conditions you can be released. In addition to that right to the assistance of counsel, you all also have the right to remain silent. These are recorded criminal proceedings. That means anything that you do choose to say in the courtroom this morning will be preserved on the recording and it can be used against you. Unless you have already made arrangements with a private lawyer to represent you in this hearing, you will not have a lawyer present for your defense. Because most of you will not have a lawyer in here and because anything you say could be used against you, I will strongly caution all of you not to make any statements regarding the facts about why you're here. Save any statements, questions, comments you might want to make about the facts of your case for a hearing where you have legal counsel present to discuss that with before you make any statements. Last thing I'll tell you all before we get started is that all of the information that I give you while you're in the courtroom will be contained in a written document called a release order. You will get a copy of that when you're done in the courtroom and you step back into the room that you're in right now. So please don't feel like you need to memorize information we go through in the courtroom, but please keep that paperwork with you because as long as you have that paperwork come tomorrow, next week, a month from now, you can still look back at it and you'll have all the information you got here in the courtroom. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Can I please have Riley Fausel and counsel up at the podium? Alexander Lerma, if you would please take a seat in the first chair right inside this door. Justin Blackwater, if you please have a seat in that second blue chair.
And Your Honor, if we could have just a couple more minutes, is that okay?
I'll give you 2 or 3.
Understood, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Lerma, if you would walk all the way into the courtroom, please. Then Mr. Blackwater, if you'd shift over to that first chair. Courtney Darris, if you would please work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please, sir?
Alexander Lerma, June 10, 1983.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lerma. You're here on 2 different matters. The first matter that you're here on is an allegation of a new offense. That allegation is 1 count of burglary. It is a class 4 felony. I have found probable cause to support that allegation, and I've appointed a public defender to represent you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference July 7th, and then you'll have a preliminary hearing July 9th. Both of those hearings will be at 8:30, and they'll both be in the Superior Court downtown. On that new allegation, you have a $5,000 secured appearance bond. The second matter that you're here on is an allegation that that new charge violated term 1 of your probation. In that probation case, I've also appointed a lawyer to defend you. Your next court hearing in the probation matter will be a revocation arraignment hearing. It will also take place July 7th at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On the probation matter, you are not eligible for release on bond. That means you will stay in custody without bail at least until that probation hearing on the 7th. Because of that, I encourage you to wait until after that hearing before attempting to post your bond on that new case. Do you understand that information?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lerma. You can step back, grab your paperwork, and then head back to your left. Justin Blackwater, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Mr. Darris, if you would shift over 1, please, and then if I could have Devin Volk to the second chair. Good morning, sir. Can I have your name and date of birth?
Justin Terrell Blackwater, June 16th, 1984.
Thank you, Mr. Blackwater. You are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are 1 count of aggravated assault, that's a class 3 felony, 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a class 4 felony, 1 count of disorderly conduct involving weapons, a class 6 felony, and 1 count of shoplifting, a class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause to support those allegations, and I've appointed the public defender's office to represent you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference July 7th and then a preliminary hearing July 9th. Both of those hearings will be at 8:30. They'll both be in the Superior Court downtown. On those allegations, you have a $25,000 secured appearance bond. Secured appearance means you can use a bonding company to post that bond if you choose to. If you do post that bond and you are released, you cannot return to the scene where any of the events giving rise to any of these allegations took place. You cannot have contact with any alleged victims or witnesses. You are prohibited from possessing any weapons or from consuming any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription if you're released from custody. Do you understand all of those conditions?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Blackwater. You can step back and get your paperwork. Mr. Carpel, are you and your client ready now? Okay, good morning to you both. Can I start by asking you, Mr. Falsell, to state your name and date of birth?
Riley Falsell, 04/17/2006.
Thank you very much. And appearance of counsel for the state. Good morning, Ms. Sauer. Thank you for joining us. And last but not least, appearance of counsel for the defendant.
Yes, Your Honor. David Campbell with DM Cantor. Our office entered a limited notice of appearance for Mr. Falsell for the purposes of this hearing only.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Campbell. I apologize. I think the notice of appearance was signed by a Carpel, but your same firm appearing for him?
Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Campbell. I'll get that updated in the release order. And it is limited, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right, Mr. Falsell, you are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are 1 count of unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle. It is a Class 5 felony, and 2 counts of reckless driving. They are both Class 2 misdemeanors. Based on my review of the information provided to me by law enforcement in a document called a Form 4, I am inclined to find probable cause to support these allegations. Before I do that, any additional information or argument regarding probable cause from the state, Ms. Sauer?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Campbell, any argument or any other facts you'd like me to consider in regards to probable cause only? We'll get to release here in a minute.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, then I am finding probable cause to support those allegations. Mr. Falsell, I have determined that you are entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. What that means is I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I understand Mr. Campbell is here for purposes of this hearing only. You have every right to make an agreement with him, his firm, or any other private lawyer going forward if you wish to. But if no additional agreement is reached, you will be represented after this hearing by the public defender's office. And Mr. Campbell, I'm sorry, can you tell me your first name again?
David?
Are you 007628?
037022.
But you're not with the public defender's office?
No,
Were you previously?
I was.
Okay.
Several years ago.
Can we fix that? No. Is it okay if I leave Mr. Carpel on there?
Yeah.
I can update you, but our system shows you with the public defender's office, and I don't want additional documentation to go to the PD's office instead of to Cantor's office.
Understood. Yeah, Mr. Jason Carpel is one of the partners at our firm. It's perfectly acceptable
Okay.
to leave him as the appointed attorney.
Okay, I will leave him on here just so that any future notices go to Cantor's office. I don't want you to feel disrespected by not putting your name. I don't want any paperwork to get lost in the PD's office for Mr. Falsell.
No issue. Understood. Thank you.
Okay, next court dates before I move to release. Your next court hearings, Mr. Falsell, will be a status conference July 7th, and then you will have a preliminary hearing July 9th. Both of them are going to be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. All right, regarding release and or any specific release conditions requested, can I please hear argument from the state?
Yes, Your Honor. Even though the defendant doesn't have any prior felony convictions, the state believes he's a significant flight risk due to the actions here. In looking through the Form 4 and the details and the locations, and putting it together, the startup in Anthem, the defendant was driving speeds over 100 miles per hour, fled law enforcement, must have gone southbound on I-17 all the way to the 101, then went the wrong way on the 101 and turned around, took the 101 all the way down to I-10, and then continued westbound on I-10 to Buckeye. So this spans 3 different highways, wrong way driving, excessive speed, endangered countless individuals on the highway during this time. And for those reasons, the state believes that $10,000 security clearance bond is appropriate.
Thank you, Ms. Sauer. Response, counter argument, recommendation regarding release, Mr. Campbell.
Yes, Your Honor. We would be asking that he be either released to his own recognizance or to the supervision of pretrial services with electronic monitoring. He is not a risk of failure to appear in the future, and he's not an ongoing risk or danger to the community. He was born here in Arizona. He's lived in Arizona his entire life. He's 19 years old. He lives with his parents. He pays for most things on his own. He is gainfully employed. He has been full-time for the last year. He did recently graduate from high school, but he does, like I say, he does rely on his parents for most things. He does pay for many things many things on his own. He's got 6 siblings. He has family ties here in Arizona. He doesn't have a passport. He has no future plans of leaving the state anytime soon. He has two siblings who are autistic, who he does assist his parents in caring for, so he is needed at home. He poses no risk of failure to appear. He and his family have retained private counsel for this purpose here. He's not going to throw away the opportunity to get out of custody. He will absolutely appear at his next court date. And for those reasons, Your Honor, we would ask that he be released either OR or on electronic monitoring with pretrial services.
Okay, thank you both very much. I have reviewed Mr. Fausel's criminal history or lack thereof. I do note that he does not have a criminal history. Mr. Campbell, I hear you telling me he is gainfully employed and that he does have ties to the community. But I also hear the state's argument that based on the nature of the allegations in this case, Mr. Fausel's alleged driving activity posed a substantial risk of harm to the traveling public. I'm also concerned that if these allegations are true, he showed a substantial disregard for the safety of others on the road. So I am inclined to impose a bond in this case because of the public danger imposed by the nature of these allegations. I'm going to impose a $2,500 secured appearance bond. Mr. Fausel, that means you could use a bonding company to post that bond. Mr. Campbell can likely communicate with your family as to how that could happen. There's also a list of bonding companies back in the jail if you would like to call them yourself. If you do get that bond posted and you're released from custody, while you are out of custody, you cannot possess any drugs without a valid prescription, and you cannot operate a motor vehicle if you don't have a valid driver's license. So if your license is administratively suspended, you cannot operate a vehicle. If it has not been, then you are free to operate a motor vehicle, but if you do so, you must comply with all the rules of the road, including listed speed limits. Anything else I need to address before I excuse this matter, Ms. Sauer?
No, you're right.
All right, anything else, Mr. Campbell?
No, Judge, thank you.
Thank you. Would you like your client to have a copy of the release order or all to you?
If you could have a copy, that would be great.
Okay, we'll get copies to both of you. If you'd like another minute, I have the rest of the calendar, so you're free to take another minute in the room with your client.
Thank you.
All right. Ms. Sauer, you are also free to be excused. Are you going to head out? Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, Courtney Darris, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Mr. Volk, if you'd shift over, then if I could have Ulysses Robinson into the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Courtney Darris, July 22nd, 1990.
Thank you, Mr. Darris. You are here on an allegation of a new charge. The allegation against you is one count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person. It is a Class 4 felony. I did find probable cause to support that allegation, and I appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference July 7th and then a preliminary hearing July 9th, both of them at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On that new allegation, you have a $10,000 secured appearance bond. If you post that and you are released, you are prohibited from possessing any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
I just got a baby, it was just a little baby machete knife.
I would encourage you not to make any statements because anything you say could be used against you, and you don't have a lawyer here, and I don't think a lawyer would appreciate you making that statement. Any questions about your release conditions?
So I'm not being released?
Not unless you post that bond. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, you can step back to your left and get your paperwork. Thank you, Mr. Darris. Step back to your left and get your paperwork. Okay, Devin Volk, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Lupita Canez, if you would please work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please, sir?
Kevin Taylor Volk, June 13th, 1992.
Thank you, Mr. Volk. You are here on 3 probation violation warrants. In all 3 cases, petitions to revoke your probation allege that you have violated terms 3, 4, 5, 7, and 15 of your probation. I have appointed a lawyer for you in all 3 cases. Your next court hearing in each of these 3 matters will be a probation revocation arraignment hearing. It is scheduled for July 7th at 8:30 in the probation court downtown. On these 3 warrants, you have a total secured appearance bond of $5,750. It is $5,000 on one of the warrants, $500 on the second, $250 on the third.
What are the new charges?
It's not new charges. The allegations are that you committed violations of the terms of your probation. So there's not an allegation that you've committed a new criminal offense. Any other questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Volk. You can step back and get your paperwork. Ulysses Robinson, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Geneva Guzman, if you'd please work your way to the second chair. Good morning, sir. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Ulysses Robinson, 7/26/86.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. You are here on 2 different matters. The first matter that you're here on is an allegation of a new charge. That allegation is 1 count of unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle. It is a Class 5 felony. I have found probable cause to support that allegation and appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Your next court hearing on that new allegation will be a status conference July 7th, and then after that you'll have a preliminary hearing July 9th. Those 2 hearings will be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On that new allegation, you have a $5,000 secured appearance bond. The second matter you're here on is an allegation that new charge violated term 1 of your probation. In the probation matter, I've also appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next court hearing in the probation case will be a revocation arraignment. It will also be July 7th at 8:30 downtown. On the probation matter, you have a $500 secured appearance bond. So your total bond will be $5,500. It is all secured appearance. If you post that and you are released from custody, you cannot possess any weapons or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
I'm trying to make sure I do.
Sure.
So you said I have charging a probation violation or bond or whatever, and altogether, what is it?
Altogether, it's $5,500. $5,000 on the new allegation, $500 on the probation violation.
Yeah. I just had a long time trying to think. Yesterday was my son's birthday, and then I got psychotherapy this week, so I'm trying to figure it out.
You can use a bonding company. If you want to explore that avenue, you can contact bonding. Back in the jail, there's a list of bonding companies and their phone numbers posted in various different places. You can find one of those lists. All of those companies on that list accept collect calls from the jail, and they're all open 24/7. So you could find one of those lists and call 1, 2, or all of them if you want to see what requirements a bonding company might impose, and if you can find one that can work with your circumstances. The other options are somebody can go to the 4th Avenue Bonds and Fines office and post the full bond for you, or you could self-bond out if you have money on your jail books. Anything else?
No, thank you.
All right.
I'm trying to, but I'm not trying to hold up the court or anything.
Well, if you have questions, questions about your release conditions, now's the time to ask them. If you have questions or concerns about the nature of the charges, you would want to talk to a lawyer, and in your paperwork, you have the number to the Public Defender's Office. So you could call them about substantive questions, but if you have questions about your release conditions, you should ask them now, because once you step out of here, your hearing will be over. So if you have questions for me about how to bond out or anything like that, Go ahead, ask them now. Jail staff can help you too if you think of something once you walk out.
No, it's just as far as, I'm just trying to get understanding of that, so I was just get a hold of my accountant or the case manager to get a hold of my family.
Say that again, I didn't hear
Just get a
you.
hold of my case manager to get a hold of my family, and they should be able to take care of that, or
Case manager through the court or case manager through a behavioral health?
behavioral health.
Okay, they can, yes, your case manager will likely be able to help you.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir. You can step back and get your paperwork.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Is he younger?
Lupita Canas, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Esteban Lopez, if I could ask you to work your way to the second chair, please. Officer Carter, would you wake Mr. Lopez up? I think he's white hoodie here. Right, you want to face me? Yep, can I have your name and date of birth?
I'm Lupita Cañas, 01/31/1984.
Thank you, Ms. Canas. You're here on two different matters. The first matter that you're here on is a child support arrest warrant. In that case, the family court judge presiding over your family case has issued a warrant and imposed a cash purge in the amount of $613.50. That amount is the amount that you must post in cash in order to be eligible for release on that child support warrant. Under Arizona law, I cannot modify, reduce, or eliminate the amount of that cash purge. I am, however, required to ask you two questions. Before I ask you these questions, I will tell you, you are not under any obligation to answer these questions. You can simply say, no, thank you, I choose not to answer. I will accept that and move on. First question is there anything that you wish the court to know about being held in custody unless and until that cash purge is paid?
Well, right now I'm trying to get this. There was a job. I'm waiting for the interview to come up. I was waiting to get my Social Security card. So they said they were waiting for it to come in, or I don't know what happened with it. But I was trying to get that, and I've been talking to their dad. So I've been giving him money and stuff all the time. I see him all the time. And my daughter's having a baby. My daughter's having a baby next month, so I don't want to, mess anything up with that.
Okay. Second question. Again, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. Is there anything you want the court to know about your present ability to pay the cash purge?
No, I think I can try to have somebody help me out with that.
Okay. All right, then I am affirming the cash purge on your child support arrest case. It is a $613.50 cash purge. Whether or not you pay that amount, you have to attend a return hearing on this warrant back in the family court. That hearing will be July 3rd at 10 a.m. If you post the cash purge and you're out of custody, you'll be responsible for getting yourself to that hearing. If you don't post the cash purge and you're still in custody, MCSO will transport you downtown for that hearing. But you're also here on allegations of new criminal charges. Those allegations are 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a class 6 felony. I did find probable cause to support those 2 new criminal allegations, and I've appointed the public defender's office to represent you. Your next court hearings on the criminal charges will be after your family court hearing. On the criminal allegations, you'll have a status conference July 7th and then a preliminary hearing July 9th, both at 8:30 downtown. On the criminal allegation, you have a $50 cash bond. So your total bond for both cases in order to get out of custody will be $663.50. It is all cash. If you do post that and you are released, in addition to getting yourself to all of your next court hearings, you cannot possess any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand all of those conditions?
Yes, I do.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Cannon. You can step back and get all of your paperwork. Geneva Guzman, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Mr. Lopez, if you'd shift over, and then if I could have Nathaniel Poindexter into the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
8/2046.
And what's your name?
Geneva Guzman.
Thank you. You are here on 3 probation violation warrants. In all 3 cases, petitions to revoke your probation allege that you have violated term 5. I've appointed a lawyer for you in all 3 cases. Your next court hearing will be a probation revocation arraignment hearing. It is scheduled for July 7th at 8:30. It'll be in the probation court downtown. On those 3 warrants, you have a total secured appearance bond of $1,000. It's $500 on one of the warrants, $250 on the other 2. Again, $1,000 total, all secured appearance. If you post that and you are released, you cannot possess any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Ms. Guzman. You can step back and get your paperwork. Please don't forget your hat. Esteban Lopez, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Sean Shabacker, if you would please work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please, sir?
Esteban Lopez, 5/16/81.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. You are here on 3 probation violation warrants. In all 3 cases, petitions to revoke your probation allege that you have violated terms 1, 3, 5, and 7. I've appointed a lawyer for you in all 3 cases. Your next court hearing in each of these 3 matters will be a revocation arraignment. It is scheduled for July 7th at 8:30 in the probation court downtown. On each of the 3 warrants, you have a $250 secured appearance bond. So your total bond will be $750. It is all secured appearance. If you post that and you are released, you cannot possess any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lopez. You can step back and get your paperwork. Nathaniel Poindexter, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Shayna Holmes, if you would please work your way to the second chair. If you would please pull your arms out of your shirt and then give me your name and date of birth.
Sorry.
Thank you.
My name is Nathaniel Lewis Poindexter at 03/09/1993.
Thank you, Mr. Poindexter. You are here on 2 probation violation warrants. In both cases, petitions to revoke your probation allege that you have violated terms 3 and 5. I've appointed a lawyer for you in both of those cases. Your next court hearing will be a revocation arraignment hearing July 7th at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On one of those warrants, you have a $250 secured appearance bond. On the second, it's $100.
I'm asking to be released because I have a dog of my own and I was asleep in the backyard of when the sheriff's department showed up, please.
Okay. So here's what I'll tell you. You do have to post that bond in order to be eligible for release. It's $350 total secured appearance. If you have $350 total for both warrants, you could use a bonding company if you can find one that will work with you. If you do not post that bond and you stay in custody and you have concerns about the welfare of an animal, you can talk to jail staff. There is a phone number to the Arizona Animal Care and Control.
I can't do that. She is my service dog.
Yeah, you can call them. It is their responsibility to care for the welfare of dogs. So you can tell them.
She is my emotional therapy.
I understand.
I have a surgery also coming up.
Okay.
And I have followed all probational violations. I was asleep in this backyard of this lady's house.
Okay. So I'm going to encourage you not to make any additional statements because anything that you say could be used against you, and I
don't care anymore.
To a crime. So go ahead and step back to your left, get your paperwork. You have to post that bond in order to be eligible for release.
What is the total bond?
$350. All right. Thank you, sir. Sean Shabacker, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Samuel Ambrose, if you'd please work your way to the second chair. What is going on with the mic? Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Sean Shabacker, November 17th, 91.
Thank you, Mr. Shabacker. I apologize for what's going on with the audio. I'm not sure what it is, but we'll power through. Okay, you are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are 2 counts of disorderly conduct. They are both Class 1 misdemeanors. I did find probable cause to support those allegations. Because they are misdemeanor offenses, the nature of those charges does not entitle you to a court-appointed lawyer. You do still have the right to the assistance of counsel. You'll just have to hire a lawyer to represent you if you wish to be represented by a lawyer. Your next court hearing on these allegations will be an arraignment hearing. It will take place July 17th. It'll be at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Peoria Municipal Court. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance, which means you would be released from custody without having to post a bond. That assumes that you are willing and able to voluntarily attend your next court hearing July 17th at 9 o'clock. Are you able and willing to voluntarily attend that hearing?
July 17th, 9 o'clock at Peoria Municipal Court?
Yes, and you'll have the date, time, address, and phone number for that court in your paperwork.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you then. You will be released. Once you are out of custody, you cannot initiate contact with any alleged victims or witnesses. My understanding is that those are the people in potentially the unit across the way. So I'm not saying you can't go home. I'm not saying they can't be there, but If you happen to run into those people, please do not initiate contact with them. Don't be rude or anything, just politely move along. You don't need to make contact, don't try to talk to them, just go in and out of your home without acknowledging that they're there. Once you're out of custody, you also cannot possess or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription, at least until your first hearing on the 17th. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. You can step back and get your paperwork. Shayna Holmes, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Stacy Woods, if you would please work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Shayna Holmes, 4/18/78.
Thank you, Ms. Holmes. You're here on two different matters. Both of them allege new allegations against you, but in two different ways. The first one is a direct complaint, which is a written document that alleges new allegations against you. The allegations in that direct complaint are one count of narcotic drug possession, a Class 4 felony, one count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony, and one count of shoplifting, a Class 1 misdemeanor. The direct complaint alleges that those offenses were all committed March 21st of 2024. The second matter you're here on is a new criminal allegation based on a new arrest. That allegation is one count of narcotic drug possession, a Class 4 felony, allegedly committed today, June 30th. In both of these cases, I've appointed a public defender to represent you. Your next court hearings in each of these two cases will be the same. You will have a status conference July 15th and then a preliminary hearing July 17th. Both of them will be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. Ms. Holmes, please make sure that you understand on each of those calendars you're going to have two cases heard. So it works kind of like this, where you'll sit in a gallery and your cases will be called. If your cases are not called together, please make sure you stay in the courtroom until you're heard on two different matters. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance, which means you would be released from custody without having to post a bond, but it presumes that you will assure the court here today that you are able and willing to voluntarily attend those hearings. Can you make me that assurance?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then you will be released. Make sure that you are in court on the 15th.
She's at in Phoenix court this afternoon.
Do you know anything about the Phoenix matter?
Looks like, I don't know if it's the same warrant or what it is. There's two different charges.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just leave it.
Okay.
So, Ms. Holmes, just so you know what's happening, he's telling me that you're here apparently also on some City of Phoenix matters. I think the City of Phoenix holds court at 3, 4?
Yeah, 4 o'clock.
At 4 o'clock. So Phoenix holds their court at 4 o'clock. And so what the officer is telling me is if Phoenix holds you on a bond and you don't post it, you will not be out of custody in order to get yourself to these court hearings. I'm not going to change your release conditions. I'm still going to leave it to release you on your own recognizance. But once you see the Phoenix judge, if the Phoenix judge puts a bond in your cases and you don't post it and you're in custody, please be mindful that you have court on the 15th and the 17th. So if you deal with whatever Phoenix has you dealing with and you're done and out of custody by the 15th, very good, take yourself to court. If, as the 15th is coming closer and closer, if you find yourself still in custody for whatever Phoenix is holding you on, use the phone number in your paperwork to the public defender's office. Try to get in contact with the public defender, let them know you're still in custody so that a public defender will know to tell the court on the 15th that you're in custody if you are still in custody. Hopefully you get out, you can take yourself there, no harm, no foul, but just be mindful you have felony court on the 15th and the 17th, and remember that when you're seen by the Phoenix judge here this afternoon.
Okay.
Okay, if you get out of custody, once you're out, don't possess any drugs without a valid prescription. Any questions for me? All right, thank you, Ms. Holmes. You can step back and get your paperwork. Samuel, please head into the courtroom.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Samuel Ambrose, 8/23/82.
Thank you, Mr. Ambrose. You are here on a justice court warrant. The El Centro Justice Court issued a warrant for your arrest when you failed to appear in their court on allegations of disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. They are both Class 1 misdemeanors. I am not making any orders regarding your entitlement to counsel on that misdemeanor case. If you are entitled to a court-appointed lawyer and you don't already have one, you will want to bring that up with the El Centro Justice Court judge at your next court hearing. That hearing is going to be an arraignment hearing July 17th. It will be at 8:30 in the El Centro Justice Court. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance, which means you would get out of custody. You would not have to post a bond, but I would ask that you assure me that you will voluntarily attend your next court hearing on the 17th at 8:30. Are you able and willing to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then I will release you. Make sure you're in court on the 17th at 8:30. Once you're out of court, you cannot have contact with any alleged victims of the underlying allegations if you know who they are, and you can't possess any drugs without a valid prescription.
Yes.
What questions do you have, Mr. Ambrose?
I was under the perception that it was all over with, because at that time I had went to the place, the court, where I put in, they told me to put in the motion to have them do it over the phone.
Okay.
Because I had to rush to Illinois. My grandmother is on hospice care, and my mother is just got put on home caregiver. So I was taking care of both of them, and they sent me an email saying it was over with.
Okay. So here's what you're going to want to do. I don't know. I can't confirm or deny that it is over with because this case is not pending here in the Superior Court. I'm just seeing you on that warrant.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like the judge in the El Centro Justice Court issued this warrant September 30th of 2024. My guess is that is around the time that you allegedly missed this court hearing. So that warrant's been active this whole time. So I am just seeing you on that warrant. That court, as of today, has indicated that that warrant is still valid, which is why I'm seeing you on it. It is possible that there's been some error and this is done and the warrant just didn't get removed. So what you should do once you get out of custody is gather this email or whatever documentation you have from this court about this case, take it with you to your next court hearing, and you and that documentation and that judge will get it all cleared up. If there is still something that needs to happen, hopefully you can get it done at your next court hearing and then be done with this.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, any other questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ambrose. You can step back and get your paperwork.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
Stacy Woods, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Can I please have your name and date of birth?
Stacy Van Woods.
And what's your date of birth?
29/1993.
Thank you, Ms. Woods. You are here because a warrant has been issued for your arrest by the state of Oklahoma. That state wants you back on this warrant. They have indicated that it is a valid warrant and they're willing to extradite you. Before you came into court, did you get that big laminated card to review?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, did you read through that?
Yes, I did.
All right. You, unlike everybody else that has already been seen, will have a choice to make at this hearing. I will give you two different options. After I give you options, I'll give you an opportunity to ask any questions that you have about either option. At the end of your hearing, I will ask which option you choose, and you will have to choose one of the two. Okay, the first option you can choose is to waive your right to an extradition hearing here in Arizona. If you pick that first option, you are not waiving any rights or defenses you have to the underlying criminal case in Oklahoma. You are only waiving your right to an extradition hearing here in Arizona. If you pick that first option, you will be held in custody here in Maricopa County without bond for up to 30 days to allow Oklahoma an opportunity to come get you. That 30-day time period, if you pick the first option, will start ticking tomorrow if you don't have any local Arizona criminal charges pending. If you have local charges anywhere in Arizona that are not at disposition yet, that 30-day time period will not start ticking until those local charges are resolved. So option one is waive your right to an extradition hearing here in Arizona, agree that Oklahoma can come and take you back, stay in custody for up to 30 days, no bond. The second option is to not waive your right to an extradition hearing. If you pick that second option, I will set an extradition hearing for July 21st at 1:30. It'll take place in the Superior Court downtown. Extradition proceedings in Arizona are civil proceedings, not criminal proceedings. That means I cannot appoint a lawyer to represent you if you pick option 2 and I set that hearing. But if you pick option 2 and you go to an extradition hearing, you do have the right to hire a lawyer to be present and represent you if you choose to. If you pick that second option and we set that extradition hearing, you are bond eligible on the Oklahoma warrant. Your bond would be set at $8,000 secured appearance. If you posted that bond, you would be eligible for release from custody, but required to stay in Arizona. So if you picked this option and you posted your bond, you would get out of custody, but you could not then take yourself to Oklahoma to resolve this. You would have to stay here to be present at any extradition proceedings in this case. If you pick the second option and you don't post that bond, you would stay in custody while the extradition proceedings are taking place. MCSO would transport you to any and all hearings. The end of the extradition process, if you pick option 2, is to get governor's warrants signed by the governors of both Arizona and Oklahoma. Once both governors sign a warrant, that's what obligates Arizona to release you to Oklahoma, what authorizes Oklahoma to come and take you back. In option 2, the process from that initial hearing to getting a governor's warrant signed could take up to 90 days, but you would remain bond eligible for that whole 90-day period. Do you understand the 2 options? If not, do you have any questions I can answer about your 2 choices?
I do have questions.
Okay, go ahead.
I talked to the bail bondsman out there, and I explained to her that I had probation out here, and my probation officer was not willing to, let me go out there to handle that because I had to finish my probation here, and my probation officer retired. So I've been waiting to get my new probation officer to see them, to ask them any kind of questions that I could to resolve this problem. And they had agreed to give me time to do that. And this doesn't seem like that agreement was even valid.
So I'm not sure that's something I can help you with. That's probably something you want to either talk to probation or a lawyer about. But what I'm seeing you on is an arrest warrant issued by Oklahoma back in 2024.
Yes, they issued the warrant then, but I had been keeping contact with the bail bondsman lady out there. And she said that when I resolved this problem, I could come out there and handle that. I told her, I said, okay, well, I got issued probation. I cannot legally leave the state to go there.
So I don't know how all of that works in Oklahoma, but all I can tell you is, as of today, the Oklahoma court that issued that warrant indicated it is a valid warrant, and Oklahoma has indicated that they are willing to come here. They want you back in Oklahoma. So I don't know what agreements you may have had or not had with a bond company in Oklahoma, and I don't know how that would work in Oklahoma, but that's something you would have to work out with the Oklahoma bond company and the Oklahoma court. That's I can't do anything with that information.
How can I do that from in here though? I
understood make phone calls.
I understood that I had a warrant out there, but I've been trying my best to do everything that I can legally the way that I should. And I'm having problems doing that with having probation here and not being able to go,
So it sounds to me like
I'm not trying to be a fugitive.
Talk to a lawyer.
I'm not trying to be a fugitive at all.
Certainly, I am not suggesting that you're here by some decision not to honor these obligations, and I don't want you to get that impression. But I am seeing you because Oklahoma says this is a valid warrant. I hear you telling me that you have hit legal hurdles, that you've been trying to deal with this. That's something that you'll have to work through with legal counsel, whether it's here or in Oklahoma. I think probably lawyers in either state could at least give you guidance, but I cannot help you navigate that. You'll have to do that through counsel.
Why do I have to do that in jail? Like, I have obligations at home. I got family I gotta take care of.
Yeah, I
My
hear you.
My grandmother is very sick. Like, I can't.
I'm not unsympathetic to your plight. It's just that I don't know what happened between when this warrant was issued, March 7th of 2024, and now, but all I know is now Oklahoma is saying that they want you back. So I don't know if something changed in Oklahoma or not.
I'm willing to go. I'm more than willing to go. That's not my problem. I was just trying to make sure I didn't get in trouble here, too. I just didn't want to have too many issues.
Yeah. Well, now, unfortunately, because you've been arrested on the warrant, you have to get back there
I
through
only
the
had
legal
one more
process.
court date left out there to handle before I ended up getting, my ex had issues with her mom, so we couldn't stay there anymore. It was snowing outside. I didn't have no family or anything out there. I had no choice but to go home. I only had one more court date. I went to the courts and I talked to them about it in court. I asked them, how can I get this transferred to Arizona? I have to go home. I have nobody here. I don't have no help here because it's a small town out there. They don't have those kind of options where you can just go to a church. So I was scared. I didn't want to be stuck in the snow. I'm not used to that.
Sure.
So I had to go home. They told me that they don't have those kind of restrictions. So I was confused.
Yeah, and like I said, I think that the best thing for you is to try to navigate the process with legal counsel. I don't know anything about how Oklahoma law works. I certainly don't know anything about your underlying Oklahoma case. I'm just seeing you on that warrant.
I was supposed to have 2 years probation there. I had one more court date left to do just to sign the papers for it. And I couldn't stay.
So at this point, do you want to waive your right to extradition or do you want to have an extradition hearing?
I don't know how to even answer that.
Okay.
I don't.
Then what I will do is I will set the hearing. If I were to accept a waiver from you, I would have to find that you are doing that knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily. Because it sounds like you are conflicted and you don't know enough to say one way or the other, I'm going to set that extradition hearing that will put you before the extradition judge July 21st at 1:30. That judge can maybe answer a little bit more questions. They might get a little bit more additional information from Oklahoma before you're seen. Between now and your hearing on the 21st, you will have an $8,000 secured appearance bond here in Arizona. You could use an Arizona bond company to post that. Regardless of what happens in this warrant from here on out, I think that you should, if you are able, try to reach out to a lawyer. There is a public defender that sits in on extradition proceedings. So when you go to court on the 21st, there will be a public defender in the courtroom. That public defender will not appear in court and represent you, but can answer questions for you. That public defender might be able to put you on the right track to get this resolved, might be able to point you in the right direction to try and get some of your questions answered.
I have to remain in custody.
Unless you post that bond, yes. Any other questions for me, Ms. Woods? All right, we're going to get your paperwork printed. I'm sorry that you're upset. If you want to work back to your left, we'll bring it out to you here in just a minute.
My grandmother's very sick. I don't understand. I really want to take care of her.
Okay, number 1 on the calendar, Gabriel Stanisaros, date of birth 10/9/2003, is not in the courtroom because he was unable to function in general population and refusing orders from detention staff. He is here on an allegation of a new charge. That allegation is 1 count of robbery, a class 4 felony. I did find probable cause to support that allegation and appointed a lawyer to defend him. His next court hearings will be a status conference July 7th and then a preliminary hearing July 9th, both at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. He has a $2,500 secured appearance bond. Number 2 on the calendar, Mario Williams, date of birth 11/23/93, is not in the courtroom because he poses a danger to himself. He is here on allegations of new charges. Those allegations are 1 count of robbery, a class 4 felony, 1 count of organized retail theft, a class 4 felony, and 1 count of interfering with judicial proceedings, a class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause to support the felony robbery and organized retail theft. I did not find probable cause to support the interference with judicial proceedings allegation. I've appointed a lawyer to defend him. His next court hearings will be a status conference July 7th and a preliminary hearing July 9th, both at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown, and he has a $2,500 secured appearance bond. Number 4 on the calendar, Anthony Lucky, date of birth 2/26/2003, is not in the courtroom because he poses a danger to himself. He is here on allegations of new charges. Those allegations are 1 count of removing a theft detection device, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of criminal damage, a Class 2 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause to support those allegations and appointed a lawyer to defend him. His next court hearings will be a status conference July 7th and a preliminary hearing July 9th, both at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. He has a $1,500 secured appearance bond. Number 22 on the calendar, Skylar LeBrayan, date of birth 1/17/97, is not in the courtroom because he was unable to function in general population due to combative behavior. He is here on allegations of new charges. Those allegations are 1 count of resisting arrest, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of criminal trespassing, a Class 3 misdemeanor. Because these are misdemeanor allegations, he's not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. His next court hearing will be an arraignment hearing July 17th at 9 o'clock in the Peoria Municipal Court. I will release him on his own recognizance. Last on the calendar, number 26, David Flores, date of birth 7/20/74, is not in the courtroom because he poses a danger to himself. He is here on 2 warrants, both issued after he failed to appear at court hearings. The first one issued by the Kyrene Justice Court on a misdemeanor DUI case. I am not making any orders regarding his entitlement to counsel in that case. His next court hearing in the Kyrene Justice Court will be an arraignment hearing July 21st at 9:30 in the morning. The second warrant issued by the Country Meadows Justice Court on a misdemeanor false reporting case. On that case, he's not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer because it is a misdemeanor. His next hearing in that case will be an arraignment hearing July 17th at 8:30 in the Country Meadows Justice Court. On both of these warrants, I am releasing him on his own recognizance. If anything changes after I visit any of these individuals' cell side, the court's orders regarding their release conditions will be reflected in their final written release order. That concludes the 11 a.m. initial appearance calendar. This court will stand in recess until 2 p.m.
All right, thank you. All right.
Thank you. You may be seated. Good afternoon, interpreter.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
All right, give me just a minute and we will get started.
Sounds good.
All right, good afternoon. This is the 2 p.m. initial appearance calendar for Monday, June 9th, 2025.
Bien, buenas tardes. Este es el calendario de comparecencias iniciales de las 2 de la tarde para el día lunes 30 de junio del 2025.
The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar.
Las órdenes judiciales para la toma de muestras de ADN y huellas dactilares que se giraron en el primer calendario de este mes también deben aplicarse a todas las audiencias del calendario de hoy.
Persons appearing before this court are reminded that they have the right to remain silent and that anything they say could be used against them.
A las personas que van a comparecer ante esta juez se les recuerda que tienen el derecho a guardar silencio. Cualquier cosa que digan puede ser utilizada en su contra.
Most of you have qualified for a court-appointed attorney.
La mayoría de ustedes reúnen los requisitos para recibir a un abogado nombrado por el tribunal.
If you have not qualified for a court-appointed attorney, or even if you have, you may retain an attorney at your own expense to represent you.
Si usted no reúne los requisitos para recibir a un abogado nombrado por el tribunal, o aún si los reúne pero prefiere usted contratar a su propio abogado particular, lo puede hacer a su propia cuenta.
I will be calling you up individually.
Les estaré llamando a que pasen individualmente.
When your name is called, please proceed to the podium.
Cuando llamen por su nombre, por favor pasen al podio.
At the conclusion of your matter, officers will have paperwork for you.
A la conclusión de la causa, los oficiales van a tener su papeleo para ustedes.
That paperwork will detail my orders in your case.
Ese papeleo va a tener a detalle mis órdenes para su caso.
It will also have the dates, times, and locations of your future hearings.
También va a tener las fechas, horas e ubicaciones de sus próximas audiencias judiciales.
Okay, we are going to start this afternoon with Saul Soto, please.
Iniciamos esta tarde con Saúl Soto. Soto, por favor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Soto. Soto, please state your name for the record.
Buenas tardes, señor Soto. Soto, por favor, diga su nombre para que conste en actas.
Buenas tardes, Saúl Eduardo Soto Soto.
Good afternoon, Saúl Eduardo Soto Soto, assisted by David Castellanos from the Office of the Court Interpreter.
And Mr. Soto Soto, what is your date of birth?
Señor Soto Soto, ¿cuál es su fecha de nacimiento?
Es 3 de julio de 2003.
July 3rd of 2003.
Thank you. And Mr. Soto Soto, you were arrested yesterday on charges of possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony.
Se lo agradezco. Señor Soto Soto, usted fue detenido el día de hoy debido a pretensiones de la tenencia de droga nociva, que es un delito de clase 4.
Possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony.
Tenencia de un arma por una persona inhabilitada, un delito de clase 4.
Possession of a weapon in a drug offense, a Class 4 felony.
Tenencia de un arma durante un ilícito de drogas, un delito de clase 4.
Possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony.
Tenencia de adminículos para drogas, un delito de clase 6.
Carrying a weapon in a drug, failure to admit carrying a deadly weapon, Class 1 misdemeanor.
Y incumplir con divulgar que traía un arma mortífera, una falta de clase 1.
And I misspoke. The offense date for those charges is today, June 30th, 2025.
Y retiro lo dicho, la fecha para los ilícitos es el día de hoy, 30 de junio del 2025.
I did find probable cause for all of those violations, and I am appointing you an attorney.
He determinado que sí existe motivo fundado de procesamiento para todas estas pretensiones y le voy a nombrar a un abogado para que le represente.
Setting 2 hearings in your case, the first on July 7th at 8:30.
Voy a programar 2 audiencias para su caso, la primera el día 7 de julio a las 8:30.
And the next one on July 9th at 8:30.
Y la siguiente el 9 de julio a las 8:30.
Both of those hearings are in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court.
Ambas de estas audiencias van a ser en el Tribunal Superior del Condado de Maricopa, en Downtown.
I am setting a secured appearance bond in your case in the amount of $25,000.
Voy a fijar una fianza en su caso, una caución real de $25,000.
In the event you are able to post that bond and secure your release, you will be subject to certain release conditions.
En caso de que usted pueda depositar esa fianza y pueda usted ser puesto en libertad, usted se tendrá que regir por ciertas medidas cautelares.
Those release conditions are contained within your paperwork, but I am specifically reminding you, you may not possess weapons.
Esas medidas cautelares van a aparecer en su papeleo, pero quiero recordarle específicamente que no va a tener permitido estar en tenencia de armas.
Okay, go ahead, step to the left, officer has your paperwork.
Pase a su izquierda, el agente tiene su papeleo.
All right, Jesus Barroso Sarmiento, please.
Pase, por favor, Jesús Barroso Sarmiento.
Good afternoon, sir. Please state your name for the record.
Buenas tardes, señor. Por favor, diga su nombre para que conste en actas.
Buenas tardes. Me llamo Jesús Barroso Sarmiento.
Good afternoon. My name is Jesus Barroso Sarmiento, assisted by David Castellanos from the Office of the Court Interpreter.
All right, and Mr. Barroso Sarmiento, what is your date of birth?
Bien, señor Barroso Sarmiento, ¿cuál es su fecha de nacimiento?
12 de septiembre del 96.
September 12th of 1996.
And you were arrested earlier today on charges of DUI, driving under the influence, a Class 1 misdemeanor.
Usted fue detenido más temprano el día de hoy por imputaciones de conducir bajo los efectos, DUI, conocido por las siglas en inglés, una falta de clase 1.
I did find probable cause for that violation.
Determiné que sí existe motivo fundado de procesamiento para esa infracción.
I am appointing you an attorney,
Voy a nombrarle a un abogado para que le represente.
and I'm setting a hearing on July 15th at 1:30 in the West McDowell Justice Court.
Voy a fijar una audiencia judicial el día 15 de julio a la 1:30 de la tarde en el Juzgado de Paz de West McDowell.
Will you go to that hearing?
¿Va a ir usted a esa audiencia?
Can you answer out loud?
Puede responder en voz alta.
Yes, miss.
All right. Based upon your promise to appear, I'm going to release you today on your own recognizance.
Bien, basándome en que usted ha prometido que va a comparecer, le voy a liberar bajo caución juratoria.
You will be subject to certain release conditions.
Usted se tendrá que regir por ciertas medidas cautelares.
Those release conditions are contained in your paperwork, but include the prohibition on driving a motor vehicle.
Esas medidas cautelares van a aparecer en su papeleo, pero incluyen la prohibición de conducir un vehículo motorizado.
All right, go ahead, step to left. Officer has your paperwork for you.
Adelante, pase a su izquierda, el agente tiene su papeleo.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Interpreter, that's everybody I have marked as needing your services this afternoon, but will you please inquire in the gallery to see if anybody else would need or like your services?
Yes, Your Honor, of course. ¿Se encuentra alguien en la sala que requiera asistencia de un intérprete? Si hay alguien que necesite un intérprete, levante la mano.
No hands, Your Honor.
Hey, Mr. Interpreter, we have no hands. Thank you so much for your assistance this afternoon.
My pleasure, Your Honor. Have a nice day.
Thank you. All right, Benjamin Jr., please. And then after Mr. Jr., we're going to have Merwin Nasenhoya. Good afternoon, sir. Please state your name for the record.
Benjamin Davis Jr.
And I'm sorry, for clarification, is Junior your last name?
That's how they put it on.
Okay, all right, so your last name is Davis before I start calling you Mr. Junior. Okay.
Yes, Davis, but that's how they put it on my birth certificate, so Arizona put it on my CDL like that.
Okay. With the clarification that that's how it's on your birth certificate, is your preferred form of address Mr. Davis or Mr. Junior?
I don't care. Mr. Junior is fine.
Okay.
It's different.
All right, Mr. Junior, what is your date of birth?
Today, 1975.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, sad day.
All right, so you were arrested yesterday earlier today, on charges of discharging a firearm within city limits. That's a Class 6 felony. Disorderly conduct involving weapons. That's a Class 6 felony, and refusing to give your true name to law enforcement. That's a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause for that. Based upon the information that you provided to pretrial services, I am finding that you are not indigent, so I am not appointing an attorney here for you today. You may, of course, retain an attorney at your own expense to represent you. I am setting 2 hearings in your case, the first on July 7th at 8:30 and the next one on July 9th at 8:30, both in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. I am setting a secured appearance bond in your matter in the amount of $5,000. In the event you are able to post that bond and secure your release, you would be subject to certain release conditions, including not returning to the scene of the alleged crime and not having any contact with any alleged victims. You are not to possess weapons, and you are not to consume alcohol. There is a full list of release conditions in your paperwork, which the officer will have for you. Merwin Nasenhoya, please. All right, Mr. Nasenhoya, please go ahead, state your name for the record.
Maru Nasenhoya,
And Mr. Nasenhoya, what is your date of birth?
June 4, 2002.
Thank you. And you are here today because the Maricopa County Superior Court issued a warrant for your arrest for failure to appear in your matter CR 2021-001808. In that matter, I am not appointing you an attorney because if you were entitled to have an attorney appointed, one should already have been appointed for you. You may, of course, always retain an attorney at your own expense to represent you. I am setting a hearing on July 10th at 8:30 in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. I am setting a cash-only appearance bond in the amount of $10,000. And I am reminding you, in the event you are able to post that bond and secure your release, you need to go to your hearings. All right? Go ahead, step left. Peyton Talmadge, please.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead, state your name for the record.
Talmadge Payton III.
Do they have your name backwards? Is it Peyton? What's your last name?
Payton.
Peyton. Okay. All right, Mr. Peyton. I'm sorry. What's your date of birth?
02/22/1977.
Thank you. And Mr. Peyton, you were arrested earlier today on charges of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person. That's a Class 4 felony. I did find probable cause for that. I am appointing you an attorney, and I'm setting 2 hearings in your case. The first on July 7th at 8:30, and the next one on July 9th at 8:30. Both of those in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. I am setting a secured appearance bond in your case in the amount of $5,000. In the event you are able to post that bond and secure your release, I am reminding you you are not to possess any weapons. Okay, go ahead, step to left. J.C. Jackson, please. All right, Mr. Jackson, go ahead, state your name for the record.
J.C. Jackson.
And Mr. Jackson, what's your date of birth?
8380.
Thank you. And you are here today on 2 matters, so we're going to go ahead and talk about your existing or pending matter first. The Maricopa County Superior Court issued a warrant for your arrest for failure to appear in your case CR 2025-113105. In that matter, I am not appointing you an attorney because if you were eligible to have an attorney appointed, one should already have been appointed for you. I am setting 2 hearings in your failure in the failure to appear case. Those are July 7th at 8:30 and July 9th at 8:30, both in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. In this case, I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,000. Now, you are also here because you were arrested yesterday on burglary in the 3rd degree, a Class 4 felony. I'm sorry, you were arrested earlier today. On those charges, it's a Class 4 felony. I did find probable cause for that. I am appointing you an attorney. I am setting 3 hearings in your case. The first on July 7th at 8:30, the next one on July 7th at 1:30 p.m., and the last one on July 9th at 8:30 in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. Because you were on release in your previous 25 case, on the date of offense on new charges, I am holding you non-bondable on your new charges. All right, go ahead, step to left. Officer has your paperwork.
I didn't hear what you said, because...
You are non-bondable on your new charges.
Wow.
Rafael Flores, please. All right, Mr. Flores, go ahead, state your name for the record.
Rafael Flores,
And Ms. Flores, which date of birth?
9/13/78.
Thank you. And you are here today because the Maricopa County Superior Court issued a warrant for your arrest on failure to appear in your case, CR 2023-152213. In that matter, I am not appointing you an attorney because if you were eligible to have an attorney appointed, one should already have been appointed for you. However, you may, of course, always retain an attorney at your own.
He never got a hold of me, though. That's what I was waiting on.
Okay.
It was a drug class or something, and he never got a hold of me.
All right. So I don't know about that. I do know that you had a hearing date for which you failed to appear, and a warrant was issued for your arrest. I am setting a hearing on July 10th at 8:30 a.m., and I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,500. In the event that you are able to post that bond and secure your release, I am reminding you, you need to attend your hearings. Okay? Go ahead, step to the left. April Raspberry, please, and then Carlos Hernandez. All right, ma'am, you are here today on two matters. So let's go ahead and talk about your pending matter. Maricopa County Superior Court has issued a warrant for your arrest for failure to appear in your case CR 2025-117868. In that matter, I am not appointing you an attorney because if you were eligible to have an attorney appointed, one should already have been appointed.
I appeared at court. They told me I wasn't in the system. And I said to check again. They said to go home. It was on the 2nd. I would never let anything go into warrant. I would always take care of it. Okay. But I was kind of scared that maybe this would happen just because you said that.
All right. I am looking at the warrant, which was confirmed earlier today, and it was issued on January 2nd by Commissioner Fisher, and I have no information in my system. It looks it was a confirmed warrant. So I'm going to go ahead and set two hearings in your case, the first on July 7th at 8:30, the next one on July 9th at 8:30, both in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. I am setting a secured appearance bond in this failure to appear matter in the amount of $1,000. In the event you are able to post this bond, you do need to go to your hearings.
Okay. What date?
July 7th is the first one at 8:30.
July 7th, 8:30 in the morning?
Yeah, and it's in your paperwork too.
Oh, okay.
Right, it's not a memory test. All right, now you are also here because you were arrested today on charges of possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony. Based upon the limited information that I have in front of me, I'm not finding probable cause on that violation today. However, I am advising you that the allegations are not dismissed and you must still attend the scheduled hearing dates. I'm going to give those to you. And formal charges may nevertheless be filed. You're also advised that a failure to appear at your court dates could result in a warrant being issued for your arrest.
Okay.
All right. On your charges for which you were arrested today, I am appointing you an attorney. I'm setting two hearings in that case. Again, this will be in your paperwork.
Okay.
The first on July 15th at 8:30 and the next one on July 17th at 8:30. Both in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. Okay? Go ahead, step to the left, officer, as your paperwork.
Thank you.
Carlos Hernandez, please. And then after Mr. Hernandez, we're going to go to Brenna Minjares. All right, Mr. Hernandez, go ahead, state your name for the record.
Carlos Hernandez.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, what is your date of birth?
10/6/1973.
All right, you are here because the Gila River Indian community issued a warrant for your arrest. So, give me just a second. It looks like it's a probation violation matter. I do have a script because I do have a script to read. You should have been given a white card. Did you get that white card?
Yeah, waiver of extradition.
Yeah. So, all right, sir. And did you have an opportunity to read that white card?
Yeah.
Okay. So as I stated, you have a warrant from the Gila River Indian community. You have a choice to make at this time. You can choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing and be sent back to the Gila River Indian community within 30 days, or you can demand an extradition hearing and that a governor's warrant be signed by the governor of Arizona and the appropriate person in the Gila River Indian community. If you choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing, you would be held non-bondable in Maricopa County Jail for a period of up to 30 days to allow time for the requesting tribe to come for you. That 30 days would start tomorrow as long as you do not have any criminal charges pending against you anywhere in Arizona. If you do have criminal charges pending against you in Arizona, the 30-day period would not start until those charges are resolved. If you choose to have an extradition hearing, I will set your hearing for July 21st at 1:30 p.m. in the Maricopa County Superior Court downtown. I cannot appoint an attorney to represent you in this extradition matter because extradition matters are civil in nature, but you would have the right to hire a lawyer at your expense if you choose. You are entitled to bail in this case, which would be in the amount of $1,000 secured appearance bond, and that's the amount set in the warrant from the Gila River Indian community. If you are unable to post your bail, you would be held in custody during that time or until another judge modifies your bail. A governor's warrant signed by the governors of Arizona and the Gila River Indian community is required to extradite you to the Gila River Indian community. That process could take up to 90 days. So I need to know at this point whether you want to waive your right to an extradition hearing or whether...
Yeah, I'll waive my right.
Okay, so you're going to be held non-bondable pending the Gila River Indian community coming for you. Okay. All right. So with that, now I've got some other stuff I need to read, so we're going to do that. All right. I understand at this point you do want to sign the waiver of extradition. I will need to ask you some questions as I am making a record of this proceeding. Did you read the extradition paperwork?
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand that you do not have to sign the paperwork?
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand you have the right to an extradition hearing?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to hire a lawyer at your own expense?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to demand that a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both Arizona and the Gila River Indian community before you are returned?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to bail, which in this case would be $1,000 secured appearance bond?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to give up those rights and sign the paperwork?
I'll sign the waiver of extradition.
Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to sign the paperwork?
No.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication within the last 24 hours?
No.
I find that you knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily are signing the waiver, and I am also signing it. I am directing the sheriff's office to notify the Gila River Indian community that you are ready to return.
Yes.
The Gila River Indian community will have 30 days from tomorrow to pick you up unless there are local charges pending in Arizona. If there are local charges pending in Arizona, the 30 days will not start until the conclusion of that case. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. All right, let me update my paperwork, and then you're going to have some things to sign too. All right, I have updated my portion. All right, and if you want to come on up, you need to, there's some stuff, you have to sign up here.
Pull it to Peralta. Go ahead, first.
What?
All right, you can go ahead, step to the left, and they will have that paperwork brought out to you when it's finished printing. Unless the officer would like to give you different directions. Okay. All right, Brenna Manjares, please. All right, ma'am, go ahead and state your name for the record.
Brianna Manjares. They messed up on my name.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, Manjares, what is your date of birth?
It's 04/22/92.
All right, I understand you are in custody on, I have two matters in front of me from Surprise Municipal Court and
El Mirage?
El Mirage, but I understand you're in custody on a different matter. Okay.
Yes, a different matter, yes.
Okay. All right, so that you can get, and we'll all go through these individually, but so that you can get credit for time in custody, I'm going to put a $50 secured appearance bond on each one of these to give you credit for your time in custody, okay?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So when my mom called, because I was supposed to show up to the court for El Mirage, it was just like a checkup to see how I'm doing on tarots, but because I was already locked up in here, I couldn't make it. But they told my mom that I can ask for a motion and to squash the payment.
And you can certainly, I mean, I'm not El Mirage, so I don't know. I do know that if you do have a hearing date at a municipal or justice court, you can let detention staff know, and they will arrange for you to attend remotely, is my understanding, so you don't miss those hearing dates. So that's a possibility. With regard to the motions, I don't know. I am going to give you some hearing dates, and again, you can arrange with detention staff to be able to attend those remotely. The $50 secured appearance bond, again, my intention there is just to give you credit for time in custody. You would only have to pay the $50 secured appearance bond in order to be released. And my understanding is you're being held on different charges. Again, my intention is to give you credit for time in custody, not to, I guess, do anything other than that.
Okay.
Okay.
So I still have to be stuck in here until
because you're on your other charges. Whatever your other charges is, I think you're non-bondable on those.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But today was my release date for the 30th to be released.
Oh, so you're going to be released today?
No, I'm supposed to be released today on the 30th. It says with the other court by the other judge. It says I'm supposed to serve 60 days, and the 30th I should be released because I have probation now.
So you're to be released today?
Well, that's what the paperwork says from the other.
Okay. Okay. Are you in custody on any other charge?
No, just this.
Okay. Okay. Well, in view of that.
And I will show up to my my date.
All right. Well,
I was just locked up.
No, all right. So I'm going to update these. So give me.
Thank you.
All right. All right. We're going to go ahead and update as we go. All right.
Yeah, because they had told me the surprise. Omar said when she gets out, she can ask for a motion, and the judge would just give her another date to show up. And then my mom said that they told her to tell me in here that I could squash the payment.
Okay.
So that's what I was told.
Okay, so and that may be the case, but that is going to be between you and El Mirage or Surprise or whichever court it was in front of. Okay, so I am. All right, so you are here. We're going to do them one by one because the Surprise City Court issued a warrant for your arrest. It is a post-adjudication warrant. In that matter, due to the nature of the charges, you're not entitled to have me appoint an attorney here for you today, so I am not appointing an attorney for you on those charges. However, you may, of course, retain an attorney at your own expense to represent you. I am setting a hearing for you in this matter on July 29th at 1:30 p.m. in the Surprise Municipal Court. Will you go to that?
Yes.
Okay. Then in this matter, I am going to go ahead and release you based upon your promise to appear on your own recognizance. Okay. Your other matter is based upon a warrant issued by the El Mirage Municipal Court.
And I think it's because I didn't show up to the court date because I was in here. That's why.
And that may be the case. I'm seeing the date here is June 9th of 2025. But again, you are going to have to take this up with the El Mirage Municipal Court.
Yeah.
In this matter, it is a post-adjudication warrant. I am finding that you are not entitled to court-appointed counsel due to the nature of the charge. I am setting a hearing on July 15th at 8:30 a.m. in the El Mirage Municipal Court. Will you go to that?
Yes, I will.
Okay. So I'm going to release you in this matter on your own recognizance as well. The dates and times and locations for your future hearing will be in your paperwork.
Okay, thank you so much, Judge. Or Your Honor.
You are welcome. Get taken care of what you need to get taken care of. Because if you don't show up to those hearings, additional arrest warrants may issue, okay?
Okay. No, I will. I want to be here.
Okay, so we should have your paperwork here for you.
That's it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Rosemary Ruiz, please, and then Yvette Avila. Good morning, ma'am. Go ahead and state your name for the record.
Rosemary Ruiz.
And Ms. Ruiz, what's your date of birth?
It's July 3rd, 1990.
Thank you. And you are here today because Maricopa County Superior Court issued a warrant for your arrest for failure to appear in your matter CR 2024-133654. In that matter, I am not appointing you an attorney because if you are eligible to have an attorney appointed, one should already have been appointed for you. You may, of course, always retain an attorney at your own expense to represent you. I'm setting two hearings in that matter, the first on July 7th at 8:30 and the next one on July 9th at 8:30, both in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. I am setting a secured appearance bond in this matter in the amount of $250. In the event you are able to post that bond and secure your release, I am reminding you to go to your hearings. All right, go ahead, step to the left. All right, Yvette Avila, please. All right, Ms. Avila, go ahead, state your name for the record.
Yvette Avila.
Thank you. And I have a fly up here, so if you see me waving my hand, that's what it is. Sorry. All right, Ms. Avila, what is your date of birth?
September 11, 1998.
Thank you. And you are here today because you were arrested earlier today on charges of aggravated DUI, wrong way driving, a class 4 felony. I did find probable cause for that. For purposes of appointing you an attorney, I am finding that you are not indigent, so I am not appointing an attorney for you today. However, you may, of course, retain an attorney at your own expense to represent you. I am setting two hearings in your case, the first on July 15th at 8:30 and the next one on July 17th at 8:30. Both of those are in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. Will you go to those?
Yes.
Okay, based upon your promise to appear, I am going to release you today. I am going to require that you register with pretrial services and that you engage in alcohol and drug testing. Also, as a condition of release, which are fully outlined in your paperwork, I am specifically calling out that you are not to drive a motor vehicle until further order of the court, okay? All right, go ahead, step to left.
Thank you.
Richard Gonzalez, please. All right, Mr. Gonzalez, go ahead, state your name for the record.
Richard Gonzalez,
Mr. Gonzalez, what's your date of birth?
7/23/90.
Thank you. And you are here today because the White Tank Justice Court issued a warrant for your arrest for failure to pay in their matter, which initially looks like stemmed out of a DUI in 2014. Because of the nature of the charges, you're not entitled to have me appoint an attorney here for you today. However, you may, of course, retain an attorney at your own expense to represent you. I am setting a hearing on July 15th at 9:30 a.m. in the White Tank Justice Court. Will you go to that?
Yes.
Okay, then based upon your promise to appear, I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. Please keep in mind, however, that if you do not appear, another warrant may issue for your arrest.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Nevaeh Flores, please, and then Terry Terrell. All right, Ms. Flores, go ahead, state your name for the record.
Nevaeh Flores.
And Ms. Flores, what's your date of birth?
January 20th, 2003.
Thank you. And you are here today because the West Mesa Justice Court issued a warrant for your arrest for failure to appear in their matter involving or stemming out of a driving with a suspended or revoked license in February of 25. Because of the nature of those charges, you are not entitled to have me appoint an attorney for you here today. However, you may, of course, retain an attorney at your own expense to represent you. I am setting a hearing on July 15th at 8:30 in the West Mesa Justice Court. Will you go to that?
Yes.
Okay, then based upon your promise to appear, I am going to go ahead and release you today on your own recognizance. Officer will have your paperwork for you with the date, time, and location of your future hearing.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Terry Terrell, please. All right, Mr. Terrell, go ahead and state your name for the record.
Terry Terrell, Jr.
And Mr. Terrell, what is your date of birth?
3/21/78.
Thank you. And you are here today because you were arrested on charges of disobeying a court order. Hold on just a second. That is not correct. Let me back up just a little bit. I'm sorry. You are here today because the Arrowhead Justice Court issued a warrant for your arrest. It is a post-adjudication warrant. Because of the nature of the charges, you're not entitled to have me appoint an attorney here for you today. However, you may, of course, retain an attorney at your own expense to represent you. I am setting a hearing on July 15th at 2 p.m. in the Arrowhead Justice Court. Will you go to that?
Well, I have a court date for the 15th for DUI here at Superior on the 15th at 8:30 a.m.
Okay, so
and I have a date for the 15th and the 17th of this month.
Okay, so you're gonna either, if you tell me, Judge, I can't make that hearing or I'm not gonna go to that hearing, then I'm gonna put a bond on you. If you tell me I will work with the Arrowhead Justice Court, I will file a motion to continue, I will let them know that I have a conflict and I will secure myself a different hearing date, then I'm gonna release you today on your own recognizance.
Well, I'll be there on the 15th at 1:30.
It's 2 p.m., sorry.
2.
But listen, I mean, one court date should not make you, and I'm not providing legal advice, one court date should not make you have to miss another one, right? So you can file like a motion to continue in the Arrowhead Justice Court. Do it ahead of time, though, all right?
Okay.
So they don't issue another warrant for your failure to appear.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, I'm going to release you today on your own recognizance. Go ahead, step to the left. Officer has your paperwork for you. All right, we should clear.
Did any of the room clear for the last one?
All right, Paul Mark Griffith, please.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Griffith, go ahead, state your name for the record.
92477.
Okay, and what's your name, sir?
Paul Griffith.
All right, Mr. Griffith, you are here because you were arrested yesterday on charges of sexual extortion, a Class 2 felony, assault, a misdemeanor, and unlawful imprisonment, a misdemeanor. I did find probable cause for all of those. For purposes of appointing you an attorney, based upon the information you provided to pretrial services, I am finding that you are not indigent, so I am not appointing you an attorney today. However, you may, of course, retain an attorney at your own expense to represent you. I am setting hearings on July 7th at 8:30 and July 9th at 8:30, both in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. In your case, I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $25,000. I am, in the event you are able to post that bond and secure your release, I am requiring that you register with pretrial services and that you engage in certain pretrial monitoring, including alcohol and drug testing and electronic monitoring. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime or have any contact with the alleged victim. No weapons, no alcohol, no drugs. Sir?
Yes. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
The scene is my house. She doesn't live there. So, I have a 19-year-old son, and there's just two of us that live in that house.
So you don't live in the house?
No, me and my son live there. She doesn't live there. So why are you barring me from the house?
Oh, okay, sir. Hold on.
And then I don't understand the problem.
Okay, I can't listen to you and read at the same time.
I'm sorry.
So give me a moment.
I apologize, Your Honor.
Okay. Right. From what I'm seeing is consistent with the fact that it's your home and that she doesn't share your residence. So I have updated that to no longer restrict you from returning to the scene of the alleged crime. Yes, sir. What else?
Yeah, I just would like to say, out of all of those charges, the only thing that
And I'm going to remind you of the right to remain silent.
I understand, but I'm going to be straight up honest with you, Judge. I have a lot of things going on. I have a job that's on the line that I don't want to get fired from, and I just got my son. He just came down here to live with me. He's enrolled in college, and it's just a lot of things pending me being released. Like, I don't have a problem checking into anything, or I'm a model citizen. I work for the Phoenix Task Squad Department, repairing their laptops. I'm a coach. I'm not a bad person. These things are all just charges, and they're untrue. And I know it seems crazy, but I didn't lay any hands on anybody. I didn't rape anybody. I didn't touch anybody. So I'm just asking you to please just allow me to go and pay my rent, which is going to be due on the 1st, because if I can't do that, then I'll get evicted, and I have my son, and it's just a whole trickle effect.
Okay. And I understand that. I'm making my decision today based upon the information in the Form 4. And based upon that information, I am finding probable cause. I'm going to leave your bond set today at $25,000 secured appearance bond. I'm also going to leave the requirement of alcohol and drug testing, as well as electronic monitoring, as well as all the other conditions that are set forth in the release order,
Are you setting alcohol? I haven't consumed any alcohol, so why you put me on a...
I am including that requirement because according to the Form 4, you were alleged to have been drinking that day. So to the extent...
I did not.
And that's my reasoning, and I'm going to leave it there, all right? You can go ahead and step to the left, have a seat. Officer will bring your paperwork to you in just a moment.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, and without any house calls, that's going to conclude the 2 p.m. and we are going to stand adjourned until 5. Mayor on for record.